Mic check, mic check. All right, we live. Just waiting, getting some of you guys some time to come in here. Got a lot of unpack from yesterday or this morning or wherever you're from. Oh man, you guys raced in here real quick. 55 just popped up instantly. What's up, y'all? As always, the stream is starting screen, just booting up. Wait until you guys come in here, get a good seat, get some snacks. While you're coming in, let me know where you're from, what state and city or country, whatever works. This is really what you guys wanted to talk about today, right? What do I say? Maybe 2 more minutes? 2 more minutes, y'all. Got 89 people in here already. Yeah, you guys really wanted to talk about this. Y'all like the juicy stuff. Heartbreaking. Everett, Boston, New Bedford, Massachusetts. How are you at all these places, my guy? Just representing the whole area. Give it 1 more minute. We'll get this going.
I don't even think we should talk about it.
No?
I don't know if we should talk about it. I don't know if we have enough people in here to talk about it.
No? Okay.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what's up.
Should we wait like another minute or 2?
Nah, I mean, we can touch on a few things here and there, but, maybe we won't touch on everything, like I don't know. We might need a few more people in here before we get into the juicy details.
Okay. Well, then obviously you know what to do then. You would have to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. A couple shares here and there. Because obviously you were there for all of it, so. Okay. Slowly but surely, they're coming in. Dr. Thinkson, Vegas champ, keep up the good work. Oh, and Bill just mad his son got beat up and he had to give up his Don King impression, is what Dr. Thinkson says.
I hope Bill chimes in. I know he's jumped on our lives a couple times before. I hope he sees it and comes in. I'd love for him to jump on.
My God, y'all crazy. Are we about to feed off drama like a bunch of females? Word, let's feed off the drama like the females we are.
I mean, that's what y'all watching.
Because we kids, females, wanting to see grown men fight.
That's what y'all watching.
That's not what we're going to talk about, though. Right?
No. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff.
For reals, Earthman. What up, Joel? Faye Bale, beauty, as people blaming Floyd for Devin's loss. These excuses, man.
Oh, I want to touch on that, but I don't know. I don't know if we have enough people. I don't know if I can get into all the juicy details. We might just do like a surface level exploration of the details. I don't know if I can get into everything. I might have to save the juicy stuff for one of them bigger lives.
Okay. Well, you let me know when we want to get this going.
Oh, we can get it going now. We can jump on now.
All right, we have a good enough, right, to get it going. We got 141, chilling, the best chat in the world, including y'all crazy as well. All right. All right, well, let me get this down. Of course. What up, everyone? It's Ron Goodall, FightHype.com, one of the many people that do the interviews, and I am here blessed with none other than the owner of FightHype himself, Mr. Ben Thompson, who shared a live with Floyd Mayweather yesterday, which pretty much, we're not going to go into all the tea and all the quote-unquote, like, drama, right? I guess we're just kind of touch on a couple surface level things and kind of the aftermath of just the fight that happened Saturday, right? So I'll leave the floor to you, BT.
I mean, we can go into, we can go into some of the stuff. Hold on, let me fix my camera here. Let me fix my camera, make sure I'm good. There we go, boom. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I jumped on the live yesterday. Obviously, Floyd jumped in there, and I didn't know if he wanted to talk about stuff. I didn't know if he wanted to talk about the fight. I didn't know if he just wanted to shoot the shit. I was just kind of catching up with him. So I really didn't anticipate doing an interview or anything like that. So I was a little unprepared, but I thought everything, like we were just kind of cooling. We started to talk about the fight a little bit. Started talking about, some of the things that he felt like Devin, could have done. Some of the things that he felt like Devin could fix. He talked about Bill. He brought up Bill. He did share with me that, he had been trying to get a hold of the Haneys for a couple days after the fight, just to reach out to him, check on him. But I guess Bill wasn't picking up. I don't know if, Floyd decided, hey, maybe let me jump on Instagram because that's where Bill is at a lot. But yeah, I'll be honest, man. At first I thought everything was kind of kumbaya. If you kind of watch like the entire hour and a half where it was just kind of like me and Floyd, he was bringing some people in. He brought in Zab Judah. I thought, originally I thought me and Zab had some issues in the past, but Zab seemed like everything was cool. I think Floyd spotted Ishe Smith. I know Ishe Smith was or has said some things about Floyd on Twitter here and there, and Floyd was just kind of making it clear like, yo, like I ain't got no issues with anybody. Ishe, if you want to jump in here. We tried to get Ishe in, but I think he jumped out before I could actually get him to join. I even saw Gervonta Davis was watching the live. So I tried to see if I could snag him real quick, but Tank be quick with it. He'd be just as quick as he'd be deleting. So I don't know what that beeping is. I think that's my phone. It's connecting in and out to my computer. But yeah, I was trying to have a kumbaya moment. Like I was trying to be like, listen, I ain't got, I'm getting old, man. I ain't got no issues with anybody. I'm just trying to cover the sport. It seemed like that's what Floyd was doing. He was just trying to, clear up any issues that anybody might have. And then Bill jumped on. Now, mind you, Floyd, when he was talking about the fight, he was giving his opinion on things that could be changed. And I'm sure he might have said some things that Bill is part of the team, right? Bill's part of the team. So anybody who has anything critical to say about the team, I'm sure he's going to be quick to defend it, right? But Floyd had made a comment about possibly having another set of eyes in the corner. I think he specifically made it clear. I'm not talking about replacing you, Bill, but I do think, there should be another set of eyes, perhaps an ex-fighter who's been in those type of positions, those type of situations where, the shit hits the fan and you got to figure out how to get through it. So, honestly, I felt like that was a valid, that was some constructive criticism, right? I mean, it can't hurt to have somebody who has experience in that situation. Admittedly, I don't know the entire Haney team. I don't know who they have in the corner. I think, Ron, you may have even done an interview with one of the, I don't know if he was working the corner, but I definitely know he was an integral part of the corner. And he shed some light on some things that were going on with Team Haney. You can dive into that a little bit later if you want. But then old Bill Haney jumped in. And I actually thought, when he was jumping in, I actually thought, we're about to have a kumbaya moment, right? Because I know in the past I've had conversations with Bill, and he's kind of joked like, "Come on, BT, come on, get me on the phone with Floyd. Come on, BT," So I'm like, I'm about to make it happen, right? Like, I'm about to get Floyd and Bill together, and we're gonna squash this and get back to that love that we used to have back when, Big Floyd was working with Dev, Roger was working with Dev, the whole Mayweather family, Jeff, like everyone was working with the Haneys, like everything was good. But Bill was on some fuck that shit, bro. Bill was on some different shit. Obviously, he didn't stay in my live very long, right? He just jumped in and was like, "Oh, I'm too big for this small shit. I'm big time. Floyd, call me on your shit." So, all right, whatever. He just jumped in and jumped out. And, Floyd, he just kind of chuckled and laughed and posted a little meme, a little milk carton meme of Bill that's been going around ever since the fight, the little missing image of him. And shortly after, Floyd got off and Bill went live. And then the next thing you know, Floyd is on the live with Bill, like going, well, I don't even know. Like it seemed like Floyd kind of started again, kind of with that kumbaya stuff that we had going on in our live, just kind of like, "Yeah, Bill, I'm just trying to, reach out to you and see what the problem is, this, that, and the other." But Bill was on some street shit, bro. Bill was on some street shit. And that shit went a totally different direction than what I was thinking it was going to go. So we probably should have did a poll. I probably should have created a poll that says who won. Maybe I should create one real quick.
Yeah. While you're pulling it up, I'm going to get to the chat, right? And obviously the chat is a huge part of the stream, right? We always want to make sure that you guys feel involved in what you guys say and what you think gets on here, so that by all means everyone gets to see it, not just in the chat but in the actual video and the playback, right? So Rockman, good old Rockman, from FightHype, been an OG over here before I was over here. He says we want all the tea, all right? LOL. Brock Work says it's crazy how people that are Ryan fans calling out excuses like Ryan doesn't have an excuse after the Tank fight. Joel says Matias would have stopped Haney in 4 rounds. We want to see Matias versus Pitbull. Matias need to unify. Champion puts his finger in testament agreement. Dabby, the Frenchie said Earth Man. Joel says, Oscar De La Hoya was saying racist comments against Matias. Oscar called Matias Dominican because he was dark-skinned Boricua. That's racist and no one's talking about it. I have to see that clip.
Oscar probably just actually thought he was Dominican, to be fair. I don't know. I didn't see what he said, but Oscar be fucking up names all the time. I'm sure he's fucking up nationalities and spelling shit wrong. So
touche.
I have to see it. I have to go to the video. We'd have to see that. Yeah. What else are they saying?
There's a couple more. Puerto Rican King KG says best in the biz. Who does it better? None other. KG. He was at the fight. He covered it for us.
He was at the fight.
Brock versus I hate two grown men fighting on the internet, but Ryan does make Mayweather look like a snake if you told him to come 3 pounds overweight.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's get to that. Let me touch on that real quick because we just watched Ryan for the past 7 to 8 weeks, troll us, right? Like he said, I was trolling you, I was fooling this, that, and the other. So is he actually telling the truth when he says that? Like, is he really, did Floyd really tell him, hey man, come in 3 pounds over, da 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 da? I don't know, bro. I feel like Ryan is he's very good at striking when the iron's hot, and he saw this stuff going on, and what a genius thing to say, Floyd, because obviously that's what everybody's been talking about since the fight, right? The weight gate. Right, the weight, the 3.5 pounds.
Can I interject real quick? They did have a picture, which could have meant many different things, right? It's cryptic, right? They both have 3 up, right? Is that 3 knockdowns? Is that signifying 3 pounds? Or is just the thing they're just doing? Like, hey, 3, right? Like 3 major pay-per-views in a row. Like, is it kind of coincident though that 3 is there, right?
I mean, was it planned? Yo, it would be funny. Hold up 3, I'll hold up 3. Let's take a picture. I'll put this could all be planned, man. Like, I don't necessarily know if that is factual. But again, it's the boxing game. I don't know, that's such a interesting debate about, is it cool? Is it not cool? Is it fair? Is it not fair? This boxing game, bro, everyone tries to find every single advantage they can, right? I mean, I know fighters back in the day who would hire guys to be in their camp just so they couldn't spar with the other guy and help them out. Right? Like, I mean, that's the kind of level of the art of war that goes on in boxing. So is it possible that, Ryan was speaking to Floyd, and, Floyd, who probably knows the Haneys more than anyone. I mean, they've been around him a lot. They've worked with him a lot. Is it possible that he was giving Ryan Garcia some secret advice? I mean, guess, but is it even enough to really make a difference? I mean, if you're not with a fighter day in and day out, training him, helping him, I don't really know how much can actually help, other than maybe having a mole in camp who lets you know, hey, he got hurt to the ribs in sparring last week, so you might want to go to the body, a la, the Ryan and Tank fight where they did have a mole. So, what's fair, what isn't fair, what's cool, what's not cool. I don't know. I think that just depends on your relationships. Are they good? Are they bad? I think everyone just assumes, oh, but it's the Mayweathers and the Haneys and they're cool and this, that, and the other. But apparently they haven't been cool for a very long time, because Bill was saying some shit, bro. He was on some different shit that made it sound like there's been a very, very long history between, Mr. Money Mayweather and Mr. Bill Haney. Now, what exactly that is, I don't know. But it is sad to see, man. It's sad to see, two prominent names in the sport. I mean, I don't care what people say. And I even told Bill this before the Ryan Garcia fight. I told him, listen, man, no matter what happens, you should be proud that you got your son into a position where he's, pretty much one of the biggest names in the sport today, right? Like it's not easy. I mean, there's a lot of guys, there's a lot of fathers out there. There's a lot of trainers, there's a lot of teams out there that are grinding hard to get, their kids, their fighters, some recognition, some attention. And it's not easy. It's not easy to climb to the mountaintop, especially when you started down in Mexico, like when you had to go down to Tijuana to get those first couple fights. And, now you've climbed to the mountaintop and you're in pay-per-views, you're getting, good paydays, you're winning belts. Like, bro, pat yourself on the back for that. Pat yourself on the back for that, no matter what happens in the fight. That deserves a lot of credit, because it is not easy to do in boxing. I mean, I can name some mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want to name any fighters because then they might get mad at me if I say like they haven't made it yet. But there are like there's a lot of guys. I mean, Ron, you interview some of them. I mean, some of the
All the
people.
time, all the time.
Right,
And even then,
right.
just adding to what you're saying is that, like there's a humbling part in every fight, right? There's always a loser and a winner. But, recognizing what Bill has done for his son, BWAA gave him manager of the year, right? And names
Mm-hmm.
that fall into that are like Al Heyman, right?
Right.
So you essentially got the same award that Al did, on a different year. So, you win some, you lose some, right? And so I think there's a lot of personal things, obviously, that probably transpired over the years because, Big Floyd, worked with Devin at some point, right? So there's a lot of intermingling at some point that, I'm not going to go into details because I don't really know the truth, but I know that it is more than just this guy won and this guy lost, right? There's obviously some rooted interest for the better on both, right? And I know that some people probably look at Floyd and say, okay, he might be petty in a sense because like Devin lost, or this way of kind of coming at Bill. But you did hear, obviously, Floyd mention, he would like to help Devin, right? I know that some people saw it once they started clashing. It may have been in a way of like, oh, he needed help the other night, but you can tell that there's interest and not just self-interest, but interest for Devin's sake, right? The father looking out for his son. Floyd's known Devin for a long time, and I'm sure that he doesn't like the idea of fighters losing on big stages because he preaches all the time about making the right moves, making the right step, not taking punishment, these types of things. So I don't know. It's for the world to see what that was, but they did mention at the end, like, hey, you got my phone number. We can call after it, right? And you know better.
No. Bill said no.
A hard no, right?
That was a hard no. And two of them, not one, but no. And then no. Oh, his laugh is so evil too. He's got such an evil laugh, bro. But that was a cold line. That was a cold line by Floyd. I can't lie. Like, ooh, he cold. He cold with them lines. That was a cold line when he said your son needed help the other night. Oh, damn, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, Bill, did kind of, I don't want to get into personal stuff, but obviously, Bill's response, like right after it was also, a lot of stuff out of boxing, right? So I think the big thing I want to highlight once we'll get to the chat, and then I guess I can pose you the next question.
Go to the chat now because there's a couple people saying some stuff.
Yeah, let's go before we forget. We got Davy the Frenchie said Matias would destroy Garcia. Joel says Haney's the weakest champ at 140. Frank says maybe I'm a fool, but why didn't Devin cancel if Ryan intentionally blew weight? Love and Not a Fighter says, do you recall the incident with Floyd Sr. and Bill?
The incident with Floyd Sr. and Bill, I don't actually. If you know it.
I mean, I don't want to say like I know it, right? I might be kind of skimming through a little hearsay, but I do know that once upon a time, Floyd Sr. would be helping Devin in the gym, right? Because Devin had a lot of, just like any fighter, has a lot of help with different trainers, right? So, if I'm not mistaken, that there was some sort of fallout where I think Bill and Sr. had a disagreement somewhere along the line, which kind of led to somewhat of some public interviews, which kind of had them kind of talking a little bit about each other. Probably not in the most positive light. And so, in that instance,
I don't know if I remember that. If I'm being honest, how long ago was that?
Probably like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like,
really,
it was quite some time, and I think it was around like, I don't remember. There's interviews out there, which, it happens in boxing, right? The only thing you just don't really want to have it highlight out publicly. So I think with a little bit of that relationship, right? Because we're talking about father-son relations, right? Well, Floyd's the son of the father that assisted Bill and Devin, who's a father and son. And obviously, if that didn't work out, then that could probably leave some sort of, he should have did this, or he should have listened to my father, or like, I don't know the details, so I'm only speculating, which I don't really want to do on here, because that's how rumors and things get started. But I do know there was some sort of public fallout a little bit in some interviews. So,
well, it sounded to me, I mean, I don't know what happened with that whole situation, but just listening to Bill, make some comments about, I mean, you wanted to put my son on a monthly salary and, all that stuff. That sounds to me like there may have been some discussion about, signing with Mayweather Promotions or signing with PBC or something like that. I mean, I do know that the Haneys had a couple fights on Showtime, right? And, Showtime at the time that they were fighting, they were kind of, I mean, really, let's be honest, they only were messing with PBC, and PBC is Al Heyman. So if Devin Haney is fighting on Showtime, then, there's probably some kind of relationship there with PBC and Al Heyman to maybe do some business in the future, and that never came to fruition. I think the Haneys also had a couple fights with Top Rank, and I'm talking like pre Lomachenko, Kambosos, like pre all that stuff. I'm talking like
pre-match,
right, like pre-matchroom, like when they were still fighting down in Louisiana and places like that, right? So just kind of hearing Bill say some of that stuff, I don't know if maybe that is part of their history. Like maybe there's a little friction about, well, we thought you were going to sign, you didn't sign, yada, yada, yada. But like that shit is so old, bro. Like, I mean, that's old. That's old. Now I will say this. I think, I honestly don't think there's any bad blood on Floyd's side. Like, I really don't. Like, I really, I talk to him a lot. Every time I talk to him, he is like in another country, flying here, chilling there on this island. Like, bro, I'm telling you, he ain't even thinking about any of this drama that, we talk about on a daily basis and make videos and people in boxing go back. He ain't thinking about none of that at all. Half the time, if I do talk to him about boxing, I gotta like kind of catch him up because, again, he's not paying attention to it. So I don't really think there's any animosity on his side, any bad blood. However, Bill has been not only saying, but using Floyd's name a lot in the past 2 or 3 years, definitely for the buildup in these past couple fights, right? But even prior to that, I remember being in New York, I think, for a who was fighting? I want to say it was Golovkin and who's that brother from Canada? What was his name?
David Lemieux. Or Steve Rolls. Steve Rolls.
Brother, yeah, Steve Rolls. I think Golovkin was fighting Steve Rolls. They were doing like a little media workout during fight week out in Times Square. We were all outside. And I remember Bill was doing an interview. He had like
that was my interview.
That was your interview?
Yes.
I don't think you were with FightHype at the time.
Were
you?
I was.
Okay.
I mean, I could play it. I mean,
you can play. Well, pull it up if you can find it. See if you can find it, and pull it up. But I know going back to that time period, right? Again, and correct me if I'm wrong because you did the interview. But I believe like that was one of the first time. It wasn't the first time he's done it, but it was one of the first times I paid attention to what he was saying. And I remember he was kind of on some, my son got into Floyd's ass in sparring.
I got it right here.
Pull it up, roll the tape. Let's just go straight to it. Just play it.
So exactly, I'm gonna put the date. 4 years ago, so September 10, 2019. All right.
When did you notice that your son had so much talent? And how do you feel as a dad in these moments, just as a proud dad?
I mean, it's been a lot of proud moments for sure. Probably the one that sticks out most is with him and Floyd when the day they sparred for Conor McGregor. Floyd couldn't touch him either. But no, it was a lot of amazing moments. But
Floyd agree with that assessment?
Of course he would. You didn't see him sparring again. You only heard about one session, so you know what I mean. But like he said, it's about Abdullah, and you know, but I've seen amazing moments, and this is one of the amazing moments right here, just being in this presence right now.
What got you guys? I heard the story before.
I'm gonna be a little behind you. You're probably gonna hear
What got you guys into
what's
the
going on.
boxing?
Well, I mean, you know, yeah, it's a story that we tell all the time, but for those that don't know, Devin was fighting. You know, he was fighting in school. When he would use his hands.
Yeah, so that's the part right there.
That's the part. That's the part. You see, Devin didn't say nothing though. Devin didn't say nothing. Devin just, you know, he was quiet, let his dad say what he wanted to say.
Yeah, I think it's a smile. Yeah, and that's when he won the interim title. That's when he was going for Lomachenko. Yeah. So.
Right. So that was one of the first times I actually paid attention to Bill, right? I was like, yo, what'd he just say? And he made it sound like, Devin kicked Floyd's ass in sparring or something like that. And I was just like, whoa, like, really? Like, okay. I mean, that's where we're going with this. And it continued from there, right? There started to be more interviews of, Bill saying, oh, Devin did this, Devin did that. Devin's the reason why Floyd left boxing and went into exhibitions, and, just really making it sound like, like Devin was that. And don't get me wrong, like that's like you're supposed to push your family, you're supposed to push your kids, you're supposed to believe in them, you're supposed to be their biggest supporters. But I don't know if it's a good idea to, and again, I don't know, people are going to debate this, but, I kind of look at that as a form of disrespect, right? I mean, I don't, you can have your own opinion on it, but if you are a Mayweather, whether you're Floyd Mayweather, whether you're Floyd Mayweather Sr., whether you're Jeff Mayweather, I mean, all the Mayweathers, bro, I'm talking all of them, Roger, Sr., Jeff, Floyd, like all of them have been helping Devin since he was a kid, right? A kid, and not just Devin, but Bill, right? Just teaching him, giving them game, not just inside the boxing ring, but outside the boxing ring, right? So if you're a Mayweather starting to hear some of that, and I'm not just talking about, the names, I'm talking about other Mayweathers, the Stacy Mayweathers out there. Shout out to Stacy Mayweather, very good friend of FightHype, very good friend of mine, and Floyd Mayweather's cousin. I'm talking about, the team members of the Mayweathers, of TMT, if you're hearing that, you're probably feeling some type of way about it, because these are people that, at one time you helped out, or as Floyd would say, at one particular time, you were helping out, you were helping these people, you were helping them navigate their way through a very vicious and brutal business, not sport. And it's a vicious and brutal sport too, but business, the business of boxing, man, that might be more brutal than actually inside the ring, if I'm being honest, right? So they helped you, Bill, get from Tijuana to this past Saturday in New York, right? And for the past 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, how long ago was that video?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay, 4 years ago. For the past 4 years, Bill has been, I think he's been doing it on purpose, and some people would be like, that's smart, because if you attach yourself to the Mayweather name, it does get you more attention. Gervonta being attached to Floyd got him more attention. Poor Mel Moten. I mean, you know what we do with that. Mayweather protege. Poor Mel Moten.
I guess before I'll get to the chat, because there's a lot that we'll have to get, have them involved in, is, do you feel that there is something, right? Because there's a lot of timeline stuff that, even like bringing up the Floyd Sr., working with Devin, all that stuff, like, do you feel like somewhere along the line that maybe, right, and I'll take the side of the Haneys, right, that there's a level of some sort of maybe feeling like a disrespect that's not visually open out there like that, and maybe there's some dissect that maybe they felt slighted in some sort of direction. I don't know what it is specifically, you know, because oh, go ahead.
But my question, Ron, would be when? Like, well, at what point would, hold on, somebody said, what were these two yapping about? I know you're not talking about us. Yeah, the question is when? No, they weren't talking about us. They were talking about somebody else. They had to be. At one point, you know, I mean, bro, we were just, was it COVID? It might have been COVID or, you know, shortly after COVID. Like at one point, didn't we just see Devin Haney in the gym with Floyd on the mitts, you know, like getting advice, you know, getting tips. Like it seemed like everything was cool then. I mean, when was that? Was that 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Right? That's about 4 years ago. So
yeah, I mean, I guess, and what I'm saying is like, you know, there's obviously these, you know, Devin's kind of went on Twitter and kind of said he's always like, I would have to find the tweet specifically, right? Let me see.
Yeah, but he's influenced by his father too. You know what I mean? Like I can't, if he's always felt like that, if he's going on Twitter and saying there's always been, then why were you in the gym with him being all cool on the mitts? Like what? Like what's that about? Like, listen, man, if I don't fuck with somebody, I don't fuck with somebody. Like, that's it. Like, there's some people in boxing that I don't fuck with. And they know it, and I know it, and we don't speak. Period. Like, that's it. You know, so if he always felt like that, then, you know, why was everything just cool, you know, a week ago? You know, like, why was everything just cool yesterday and now everything is not cool? You know, some of that, in my opinion, I think is, you know, I think Bill probably puts a little battery in Devin's back a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. Family, you know, blood is thicker than water. You know, you stick together. You know, if you have a strong opinion about this, then your family's probably going to have a strong opinion about that as well. And again, I don't know if there was an actual incident that happened. But just being on the outside looking in, that incident is not obvious or apparent when you're seeing videos, you're seeing content that's being put out there on Floyd Mayweather's page, on the Haney pages of them two in the gym, on the mitts, hanging out. I mean, bro, there was like I know there was a video. I know there was a video because either I made it or you, like one of us made it, but I know there was a video of Devin hanging out with Floyd at the house. You know, Floyd was showing him all his belts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And they went on bike rides and things like that. And let me see. I actually do have the actual tweet. Let me see.
From Devin?
You know, throughout this camp, it says Floyd's been hating a long time. Let me see if I can actually post it.
Hating on what? Like,
let me just read it.
Okay.
And you know, which kind of led to the speculations of like the leaked sparring tape, right? And you know, was it Floyd that leaked it? Which I know that he talked to you, saying that he didn't. But you know, in this tweet, this was obviously on May 1st when the tape was leaked out from Ryan Garcia, stating that, hey, Floyd's been hating a long time. This ain't just the start. I held my tongue for years, right? Because I respect the greats of the sport. But dude is a bona fide hater. Don't want to see nobody win if he's not a part of it. I know he sent Ryan the sparring. I know he gave Ryan those pimp comments to say, miserable old man tried to stop the fight. I'm happy he revealed himself to the world. So it definitely, based off this, seems like this is not something that just happened anytime soon. In addition to it, I believe that when there was other videos that was on the behalf of Devin put on social media, was mentioning of like, hey, why don't you put the video out of me fucking you up, right? So kind of double down in that, hey, in sparring,
he did.
I did, you know. So with all those type of dynamics, right? And I'm not trying to get into the meat and potatoes of it because I don't know, right? I just only know the surface level. I'm outside looking at the bakery clothes or whatever. It just seems like whatever the thing was has been brewing for quite some time. And there's been a lot of like maybe walking on kind of a line, you know. And I know Devin had a lot of admiration towards Floyd, right? So at a certain point, you know, as business boxing is, you know, if you're not aligned to this fighter, or this promoter, or this guy, and you're on this other side, well then, got a lot of love, right? But it's time to go, right? It's time to go. My guy versus your guy, right? Or my side versus this side. And you see a lot of times in the amateurs, a lot of people are really cool. Then they split off in the pros, and they're no longer as cool as they were. So I think maybe somewhere along the line that it just comes down to business, right? Like, we know that, I do believe that Floyd has genuine, like, I want to see you be successful. But when it's time for Tank and Devin to fight, well, it's obviously he's going to be like, it's Tank, right? When those times was going on. So maybe somewhere along the line of those things might have, because Floyd was co-signing a lot of people, from Shakur to Devin to Tank to a list of other fighters, right? But when all things are said and done, Devin's with Matchroom, Devin's doing his own thing. They did have a good, solid relationship. I mean, their families are intertwined, right? The Mayweathers and Haneys for quite some time. So maybe something has soured something along the way, and it's just been building up and building up and building up. And what better way to kind of have a big explosive confrontation is the fight that your son loses in, right? You know what? Because you're in defense mode, because that's your child. Like, Bill's, look, that's my child, and I've already been the shield, right? I've already been the shield of all this stuff. I want my child to go out there, box, and if anyone's gonna get the heat of it, right? Because we did before and after videos, which I want to clarify with everyone that I made a before and after video of Devin, Ryan, Oscar, and Bill, right? So if Devin beat, quote unquote, Ryan, then it would have been the other way around, but just happens to be, these are how the chips have laid out. So I do know that there's a lot of emotions in this fight, and I think that Bill, as a father, has put himself once again in front of the bullets. He's taking all the brunt of everything, and he's content with that,
Yeah, but my thing though, Ron, is even if there was some built up whatever, right? Like, that happens, right? Why are you making it a public feud? Do you know, like Floyd is not the one who was going public saying, oh, you should have seen what I did to Devin in sparring, right? Or Floyd wasn't the one saying, these young fighters can never take over my era. It'll be the Mayweather era forever, right? Like he's not the one. It all came from Bill. Like, Bill, throughout years. I mean, I hear what you're saying about, the sparring video, but Jesus, the sparring video was just a few months ago, right? Like, that was just in January, and that's what prompted Devin to come out and, make that tweet, is when the sparring video came out, right? What prompted Bill to start on this public, Floyd this, Floyd that, the way they run business. I mean, were you there? I can't remember what fight that was. It might've been the Prograis fight or something. I mean, he just went on a rant. It was
the Prograis fight. You're talking about, like, when he was like, we're no longer doing these type of fights, it's the
right,
the
pissing, all the piss and rain, all that shit that he said, right? Like what prompted him to, to go all in? Wait, what's this say? Ben, don't forget, Bill came out a while back saying that Floyd never helped him, son, with anything. He went on to talk about all traveling to tournaments, were never assisted by the Mayweathers. Okay, that's a point. That is one point in time that they didn't do it. Like, I don't think the perception here is, ever since Devin was a kid, Floyd funded this and Floyd took him there and Floyd did this and the Mayweather family did that. I don't think that's the perception. When they say they've helped them, I'm like, bro, I'm just talking about in the gym. Like, they could be in the gym one day, and, like, I'm telling you, man, you'd be surprised at how just a chance encounter with Floyd can change a fighter's trajectory in their career. I mean, I can't tell you how many fighters that, us ourselves have attached the Mayweather name to. Mayweather protege here, Mayweather protege there. Mayweather says this fighter this, Mayweather says that fighter that, and then all of a sudden, like, that fighter becomes a thing. Whether it was Hormel, Jaleel Hackett, Tank, even Truck. Even Truck. When I think Truck was on TMZ one time with Floyd and Floyd. Oh, make sure you guys check out, Lorenzo Truck Simpson, this, that, and the other. Now Truck is getting all kinds of attention. And it's not just about the attention, it's other things. It's things about, hey, what do you think about, this purse? What do you think about that? Or just the in the ring knowledge, right? I think it's pretty clear that throughout Devin's boxing career, he has gotten plenty of, quote unquote help, right? From the Mayweather family, not just Floyd Mayweather, from the entire family, teaching him how to be a better boxer, right? Not really sure why I jumped on that comment. But anyway, the point being is what I just don't understand is when did Bill turn it into what it is now? And I think, again, I could be wrong, but I think I don't think he really meant to do that. Like, I think Bill's ultimate goal was to raise the profile of his son. And what better way to do that than to attach your name to the Mayweathers, which they already were, right? But, start doing it in a slicker way that really kind of, just, oh, well, you should have seen what Devin did to him in sparring. Because obviously, Errol Spence got a lot of attention for the sparring stories that came out with, him and Floyd. So, Bill's a savvy guy, I'm sure, Devin and Floyd sparred and, Devin was competitive, this, that, and the other. I mean, sparring, whatever. So, of course, he's going to use that to his advantage to try and advance his son, right? Just little slick things like that. I think, the more success that they got through their career, I think that's when Bill started, pushing it to the edge a little bit more every time after every fight. It was like something a little extra on it, all the way up until the Pro Grace fight where he was finally on the Mayweather era is dead. It is now the Haney era. Like that was like the ultimate, he's gone. We ran him out of boxing. Like that was kind of the ultimate coup de grace. That just kind of like, whoa.
But do you feel? And I'll speed through the chat. Do you feel? Actually, let me go through the chat first, because then
go to the chat because I want to give a shout out to let me find it. Comics Legend, who said, I like when Ron streams the chat alone. Shout out to you, Comics Legend, because I like when Ron streams the chat alone too. I am very fucking tired right now. I've had about 6 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. Like I am beat, and Ron can handle these things on his own. He does a fabulous job. He shows way more attention to the chat and you guys and the things that you have to say and your thoughts. And we're going to get to that now too. But I do agree with you. Ron is doing a bang up job. And he'll be getting back to the solo chats here soon because this guy
these are good.
Sleep.
And I think just for like the sake of just the chat, like I won't forget the chat, right? Because I have everything pulled to the side and it actually marks where. So the only time I can't actually review through the chat was like Saturday when we had over 30,000 people in here on the live companion show and we did like 1.5 million views. Like when it's like and someone's getting knocked out, I'm literally just reacting, right? So, and these kind of like, that's essentially what these shows are for, right? So like, there's probably people asking you questions, Ben, specifically. They never get to talk to you, right? Like there's probably a million different questions, right? And obviously, I just want to make sure that stuff gets facilitated. But I do have a question I'll ask you about all this, but I won't go through the chat.
Go through the chat first. Save the question. Go through the chat.
Brockwork says, so maybe Floyd needs to clear that up because maybe that's why Bill was so upset.
Wait, clear what up?
I mean, we're following up. This is probably so long ago in the.
I got you.
Maker says Bill's still trying to pimp. Crying emoji. Bill ain't no 50 on the streets. What a bozo. Hope I'm saying it right. Viotis Thompson. I'm a real nigga, dog. I'm real. Oh, he's quoting Bill Edward Haney. Real quick, let everyone know I'm half black. We're both half black, I'm
half black too. I'm half black too.
So we definitely, I'll slip that in there, but for the sake of YouTube, they don't like that word. They get pretty demonetized often. Smells like OTR. Devin is the king of sparring. Comics Legends, the weight was a smart strategy. Maker says what he called Floyd, like a bull earth man or something.
Yeah, he called him something crazy, something Earth Man. I said, what is that? I have to look that up. That might be some old school, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just an Earth Man. Earth Man? The fuck? Like, aren't we all Earth? Well,
I think essentially like you ain't a god. You just like a regular human being.
Is that what it meant?
I'm assuming.
Okay.
I mean, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of sly. Like,
that's kind of slick.
Old school.
You Earth Man. You Earth Man. You're not a god. You Earth Man. That's kind of slick. I ain't mad at it. But it totally threw me off. I was like, Earth Man? Is he an alien?
Hey, man. Sometimes you gotta hit him with some new shit, man. Catch you off guard. Right?
That's the first time I ever heard that.
See a left hook off guard, off rip, right? So.
Oh yeah.
As Gonzalez, Floyd is 51-0 after that. Diddy had the game plan all along to stop Haney from Rip and Dip said. Miss L 321 Devin needs to man up and tell his daddy that's it. It's time to find another trainer.
Hey, listen, that's a hot topic. That might have to be a whole different live. That might be a whole different live that we talk about that. And I only say that, like, listen, Devin needs to do whatever Devin wants to do, right? I'm not saying he needs to find a new trainer or anything like that. However, I have noted there's a lot of interviews coming out, and Floyd wasn't the first one. I know Bill, might have got mad at Floyd for saying, he should have another set of eyes, in there. But like, bro, we just had an interview with Robert Garcia, who said the exact same thing. He basically said it's time for, Bill, and he said no disrespect to Bill, but it's time for Bill and Devin to bring in someone else. And in fact, not just bring in someone else, but they should go to a new camp and get some new sparring partners, some guys that are going to, really push them and press them. These are just things that Robert Garcia said. I'm not saying them. These are just things Robert Garcia said. So I do think that there is a valid discussion there. Anytime someone takes a loss, there's always discussions about, well, what needs to change, right? But, they're valid points, man. They're valid points. The things that Floyd said about, having someone there who's had the experience, who's been in those crunch situations when things are going bad, these are just common sense things that people talk about in boxing when it comes to corners and stuff like that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with someone saying it. A lot of times it's the way you say it too. But I do also think, if you're part of the team, part of a losing team, you're not gonna receive that information in a positive way, right? Like it's hard to really sit back on that. But my bad. We can go back. You can go back to the comments.
You're perfect. Look, that's essentially what this is for, right? And there's some questions I gotta get to because some people are asking specific stuff towards you. Bela Beauty says Bill smoked something different before that live. Wanted that smoke. Like maybe he didn't smoke. The smoke was in the lie, right? So
he didn't want the smoke though because he jumped in and jumped out. He jumped in and said, "Get on your live, and then you can have me." Like I don't think he wanted the smoke. I think he wanted the attention, which is okay. I'm not knocking it. It's okay. But I do think he wanted the attention. Like whatever you got to hash out, why can't you just hash it out right here? Like why is it important for you to have Floyd go on his live and have his millions of people? Like why are you trying to make it an attention thing? Honestly, bro, this conversation should be held privately. If you ask me, like this is a conversation that y'all should have just had on the phone if you would pick up. But it's not cool to see that shit play out. It wasn't cool to see, when Floyd and his dad you remember that 24/7?
All that, multiple 24/7s. I mean, even prior to 24/7, they had a little on the HBO stuff.
Yeah, like that's that's never. I mean, I guess it makes for good TV and good viewership, but just as a human being, right? Like that's never really cool to watch. That's never a good feeling to see family members just going at each other like that, or friends or anything, bro. Like this type of stuff should be handled offline.
Yeah, I agree. And I think everyone in chat, even though they have their opinions, I think we all can safely agree that having this publicly and having this stuff is just, it's not the greatest. Smells like OTR. Brilliant performance by Floyd. Got all his points across. Kept the composure. Beatrice Thompson. Bill so street he didn't pass them jeans to his son. LOL, that MF was holding punches all night. I'm assuming he's talking about Bill needs to chill. Maker, Bill worse versus Floyd, that Logan Paul. Bill got ran out of his own city. He too mouthy for the streets. Bill's 0-2 versus Floyd and Broner online. Brock Work says, sounds to me a lot of people was mad that Bill Haney had his son on top and Bill was climbing as well on their own merit. Miss L321, what exactly happened with Floyd's senior training? Devin. Let's see. Brock Work, Bill Haney sounds like the Drake of boxing right now. Larry Liston, if you're still in here, he says, why are these nerds who can't fight talking about fighting? Mofos, you don't fight.
How he know we don't fight? How you know that? How you know? I mean, listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't fight. I'm like 50, bro. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's like life and death situation, like, bro, I'm too old to be fighting, man. Life is too good. I'm trying to live as long as I can, not as little as possible. So
he threw another shot. Look at them shiny teeth. You ain't never took a shot in the face on one of these.
Oh, he must be talking about you because I don't have shiny teeth, bro. I got coffee stained teeth.
That's perfectly fine, right? Because when
Errol Spence got shiny fucking teeth.
Look,
Tank got shiny teeth. All the PBC fighters got shiny new grills. What are you talking about?
No, I appreciate it. Look. All I'm saying is that what I was taught was you don't use it when you need. You don't use it unless you need to use it. So I mean, that's Ron on some martial arts Goku shit. I'm just saying, man. That's what I was taught, right? I'm not a professional fighter, so I don't need I'm not saying I'll beat everyone's ass, but what they say, never judge somebody, right?
Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover.
I mean,
Ron on some different shit. Ron got more than hands. Ron got feet. Ron got some shit we don't know about, so you might not want to test him. He do like UFC, so.
It's all good, but look. Just a small background. I dabble in my stuff. My dad was. We'll save it on another day, right? This ain't a pissing contest. This is reading through the comments, right? But I'm just letting Larry know that you can keep commenting. We gonna keep reading. So I mean, there's no ducking and diving, ducking in here. So
right.
I still say poor Devin being dragged into Floyd and Bill's mess. That's a comment right there. Beatrice Thompson, Floyd from Michigan, he gonna know how to talk shit. Brock says truth hurts. Catherine Murray says new to the channel, subscribe because of the interview with FM. Thanks. Oh, Floyd Mayweather. Okay, shout out to you.
Thank you.
We got plenty of Floyd Mayweather interviews on here, so enjoy the old school archive. KLF says you need help. I think he's quoting Floyd. You need help? You need help?
Yo, that might have been the most. I know a lot of people are into the, the street talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill was sliding some good ones in left and right. But yo, when Floyd was on you need some help with your son? You needed some help with him last Saturday. Like, bro, like that was on. So like that was like, like that's what really I think that's what really pissed Floyd.
Well, of course. I mean, you gotta understand, like, and this is why I said, like, we don't really want to get into all the personal stuff because it's like at a certain point, it's like as a father, right? You have.
Oh fuck yeah, that would piss me off.
Like,
don't be talking about my kid.
Like I'm feeling Bill on this shit. Like, what? You really about to say it? Like, oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'd have been pissed. I'd been pissed. That would have made me snap too.
So kids were dragged into that part, which is part of fathers, right? Fathers should defend their kids. So
Yeah.
Anyways,
I ain't mad at any other way that played out. That's y'all grown men. You handle that. Yeah, but damn, that was some cold shit.
Catherine Murray says, and Bill, he loves money emoji and he loves sun. So yeah. Comics says, thanks for acknowledging the chat, reading comments. Very few live streams do that, and this should be commended. yeah, I think it's very important because you guys are the reason why we're able to make content. So this is the whole point of this segment, right? Is that you guys get to talk to us. You can even criticize, like, oh, I don't like this interview. I don't like how you do this. Like Larry said, I don't like this shiny teeth. So let me just fuck up my teeth and not brush my teeth a little bit so that.
And I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Some of the interviews I don't like, but you know what I'm saying? We still serve it up to you so you can see it. Because everybody out here grinding to bring you content. I mean, think about this. This is the scary thought. This is the scary thought about people like me, people like Ron, channels like us, channels like, other channels out there. I was about to throw some names out, but I'm done giving free advertisement to people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to throw any names out there, but y'all know the channels. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there. There's a lot of people that are covering boxing right now. Imagine if we didn't. Imagine if none of us crazy people, us nerds, right? Somebody called us nerds earlier. They don't like your white teeth, Ron. Imagine if none of us did do this. Y'all would be left to rely on what? ESPN's boxing coverage, which, don't get me wrong, Mike Coppinger doing his thing, breaking his little, I was going to call them scoops, but they're really just phone calls from people who want to put the information out there. So, he puts that stuff out there, here and there, but I'm just talking about day to day. Every day y'all wake up, you go to your favorite YouTube channel, your favorite website, your favorite Instagram, whatever, and you look for content, right? You look for content. And we're the people that are providing the daily content. It could be a Floyd Mayweather interview. It could be Floyd and Bill Haney going crazy. It could be, some fighter that you don't know nothing about. Who is this Jalen Phillips dude? Who is that? I don't know anything about him. I'm not going to click on that, right? But it's content. Like every single day, we're out here grinding to bring you boxing content. And if we did not exist, then you would straight up be left to like corporations like ESPN, who they barely cover boxing. And that's ESPN. Let's not even talk about some of the old school, the New York Times. Does the New York Times even cover boxing anymore? The LA Times. I think they still have one or two people there, but it's getting bleak. And even those outlets, they're not doing a lot of interviews. They're not getting videos. They're not bringing you closer to the fighters. Like that's what people like us do. And you got to really love this sport to do it, man, because it's a fucking grind. I know, Ron, these past couple days, it's probably been rough for you. I know you've been doing a lot of work. I've been doing a lot of work. We just had a big fight weekend. We got another big fight coming up next week, Canelo. But guess what? We got fights this week too. Virgil Ortiz, that's work, that's grind. And, shout out to everybody that's doing it. Again, I'm not going to say too many names because some of y'all are really kind of irritating me with the jacking of our content and stuff. But I still want to kind of like shout out the hard work that y'all do, because it's not easy to wake up every day and, especially if you have other things going on in your life, if you have a real job somewhere and, you stay dedicated to this, keep doing your thing. Because without you, man, fuck all the shit these people talking about, with, DAZN and, saving boxing or Turkey saving boxing or this person or that person saving boxing. Yo, we are fucking saving boxing. We're the reason why y'all are still tapped in and still loving the sport, because there's a lot of people today who used to be diehard boxing fans back when Mike Tyson was fighting, who do not watch it now at all and don't give a fuck about it at all. So keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and I will get off my pedestal, my podium, and let you get back to the comments, Ron.
No worries. Look, it's always good to have a little break here and there. And Minnesota Mix says Bill Haney needs help. Kind of looks whack bringing up the streets after his son got beat down in a boxing match. This is boxing and Floyd is TBE. You should listen.
That was kind of corny. That was kind of corny for him to go street like that. But I don't know if there was some other, like maybe he was throwing some subliminals in that. There's some stuff that I don't know what's going on, but it did sound kind of corny.
Miss L 321. They need Floyd more than Floyd needs them. Bill's hurting his own son over pride. Devin's grown as hell and make his own decisions about his career. Viotis Thompson, Bill Edward Haney, WWE SmackDown champion. Someone said Devin looked like Weekend at Bernie's when they gave him that cake. Terrible. Bill and I, the violence guy.
That's fucked up.
Brock Wurt, nobody likes to lose their spot unless they have a hand in it. Bill ain't no WWE champion. He's a Ringling brother. Floyd truly cares for him to reach out. RN loves boxing. Mayweather Sr. trained Devin for years, and they dogged him, is what RN says. Jamone Allen, cool. Let's see. Loving Out a Fighter. The word here is accountability. Bill, Haney, and Devin shit on a lot of people before this fight. And if they won, they would still be shitting on people. Easy E9, that's Cap, Flog. Only jump online because Devin's lost. Stop being biased. Loving Out a Fighter. You can't do that and get mad at the consequence. Devin's an okay fighter. 16-17 of his fights were against barroom fighters in Mexico, so let's not lie on the record either as. Don't y'all see the dynamics? No offense. I love you. Time short. Will Mayweather eventually help Haney beat Ryan for the rematch? Brock Wurt says if Haney wins, Floyd would not have been in the live with Bill. Loving Out a Fighter. For Floyd and Bill, this all started when Bill disrespected Floyd Sr. and Floyd Jr. told him Devin could make his own decisions. Bill never let that go and took it as Floyd saying to drop Bill. Ask the frequent people at Mayweather Gym. They know the truth. Viotis Thompson. I ain't
Who
gonna
said
lie.
that? Who said that? Who said that?
Loving Out a
that?
Fighter. It's a little higher up. That's why I'm trying to.
I know. I'm scrolling. Go. Yeah, keep going.
I'm gonna keep reading so that we can. Buckster 2012. Bill Haney versus B Hop in the bathroom. Bill's just jealous. That's all it is. Always trying to prove himself. Real legend. Dev versus Diddy in the koozie. Ripping Dipset. Diddle gang. Bill more proud of Devin in sparring than an actual fight. Facepalm emoji. Dev got to be a man and start talking for himself. Bill Haney, the Joe Jackson of boxing. Smells like OTR says, if you beat Floyd in sparring, you have bragging rights. Smile emojis. Another perspective. I like it. Blacks helping blacks. Brock Wurt, Devin took one loss. It's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. Red says Devin got to cut him off. I understand that's his pots, but at this point, he's just devaluing his star power. Miss Odie says Devin is finna take some more losses if you don't get another trainer in a team. Real Legend comes back and says Floyd danced on Bill like he does in fights. Slipped him on the scrollable. Said there's levels to this. Devin got beat up so bad. Comic Legend says, I agree, the father-son relationship is great, but at some point the father have to let their sons grow and think for themselves and become their own person. Real Legend says Bill is like the old, new school Don King. Do not disrespect Don King, is what Rip and Dipset said. Listen, bro, Haney doesn't have the boxing IQ Floyd has, 100. Shout
out Mike Gross.
There's a super chat. Super chat gets priority, so I'm gonna come back. Let me see. Did I just mess up my chat read?
Salute to the panel.
Oh, salute to the panel fighter on super chat. Mike on Sports.
Salute to Mike on Sports. Check out his channel.
Yes, definitely shout out. Check out Mike on Sports. He also contributes here. He's gonna do some interviews for FightHype, and he already has. He did all the Tony Harrison interviews, which was great insight on a lot of stuff about Alicia, Clarissa, and just.
Oh yeah, that was a good interview. Yeah, that was a good interview. Tony Harrison, right?
Yep, and he also did the Bomac. He did the Bomac interview after the Crawford.
Fresh.
So,
fresh. That was an audio. Interview, right?
Yep.
Right. I wasn't. Yeah. Shout out to Ron for saying no. We got to post this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. I might have to hold on. Give me 1 second. I might have to reset my chat. Fuck. Please don't fuck it up. It might have fucked it up.
It's okay. We'll jump. You can jump back in. Love and Not a Fighter. LOL. Who are you? I mean, obviously you don't have to tell me your name, but I don't. You're saying a lot of stuff. Like you know some stuff. I see you talking about Stacey Mayweather. in the Mayweather apparel. Shout out Stacy Mayweather in the Mayweather apparel for show. Stacy Mayweather is fam. We need to get Stacy Mayweather in here. I should have. Yo, I'm tripping. Hold on. Let me send a text. Because there is somebody. Well, he might not want to speak.
While you're doing, I'm gonna get through the chat. I've just fixed it.
Yeah, get through some.
In case I missed it, I had to reset my chat thing, so my bad and ahead of time. So if there's anything you need read, just repeat it again. Man, I'm bad at spam, so I'm sorry. What happened to church? Devin's hype man. I know a little bit, but I don't really want to get out. I've heard certain stuff, so I don't know 100% can confirm. I just know that they're no longer clearly right. You would have heard him screaming over Ryan Garcia. Man, could you imagine if Church was around the Ryan Garcia fight and he was getting in Ryan's face, seeing some wild shit? Damn, like Church at the Ryan Garcia fight would have been great. W Fighter Pilot. I hope Ryan listens to Derek James and's focused for the full 3 minutes every round. I agree. And up. Do you think Mayweather advised Garcia to come in heavy? I don't know. Ryan carried the pay-per-view. They're promoting Derek James to Ryan after he was unfocused. Do not let him off the hook. Keeley 456. Floyd is still saying Bill to this day. Devin's hype man lost faith after the Loma fight. Murdoch Entertainment, what up? Mayweather wanted the attention and wanted to rub and lost to Bill. No diddy. Living Out a Fighter. Floyd is the kind of person who will let you dig your own grave. Floyd Jr. will let you do things, give you kindness, and see if you continue to do it. And then if you do, he will let you go. Devin needed a birthday cake with candles for celebrating a title he won't ever defend again. Who's out for the year with a jaw that doesn't work? Karma for Dev calling Ryan a C-level fighter. Tom, it was all staged due to the fact that they did this live on, I think, Instagram. Coach Malachi said the same thing.
No. Who said it was staged?
Tom.
No, it was not. They did it on my live. Well, it started on my live, right? It ended on Bill's, but I can confirm that was not staged at all.
What video was it that you had that initially before they went live that he jumped in and out? Was it the Zab one towards the end of the Zab? I mean, no.
No, you probably have to go to the full
I got it. I know what you're talking about.
And it'll be right before, like, you'll see me and Floyd and Greg, his security. Keep an eye on your Zoom. I just sent a link to somebody that we're about to bring in here. It's actually Stacy Mayweather if he jumps on.
Oh yeah.
Not to say Stacy's gonna clear up anything, but Stacy might have some details on some of the holes. See y'all.
All right, so
y'all left a little early.
So I got the footage up right initially of where Floyd was doing a live with you first, and then which later led to, I think, a lot of people tagging Bill, right? And you can see right here, I'll zoom out a little bit because you can't fully see from this shot. So there's Floyd, there's Ben, there's Bill, and there's Floyd's security. You can see.
Call on your channel and let's talk. You dig? Let's get
on.
Yeah,
it should switch to.
You dig? Huh, Pete? You know I'm a big nigga in the
It should switch to a 4-man
call
screen.
Me on your page.
Hey. I don't.
So he jumped out essentially like, come on, let's go somewhere else. Let's do it. So it dragged from there to what the whole world saw. So that's in response. Yeah. But shout out to you, Tom, for just coming and showing support. So Floyd's unbothered. Black Dog's phenomenal live with Floyd y'all had, by the way. Tell Larry I'm looking for him.
Floyd is unbothered by all of that, for real. Like, whoever said that, he is very unbothered. I really think I really think he really do care about Devin, right? Like, I really do think he means well. Bro, I'm telling you, every fighter that Floyd talks to, he really got a lot of love for fighters, bro. Like, he is a fighter. He, was a fighter, still is a fighter. Like, Like he is someone who has always been an advocate for fighter rights in the sport. Like that's the whole reason why he broke away. Just everything. Everything. He's a little bit like Al Heyman, if I'm being honest. I think Al Heyman. And again, I think this information's out there. I think you can just Google it. But I think Al Heyman had a brother who used to be a boxer. And I think his brother may have, boxing. I told you this business is brutal, and I think maybe his brother didn't have, the best career that he could have had because he had some situations going on. So I think, Al Heyman growing up saw that. And I think Floyd saw that too with his dad, with his family. And I think that's where their bond comes from a lot. It's just their love of fighters and doing right by fighters. So, when you see Floyd talk, okay, today he's talking to Gervonta and tomorrow he's talking to Devin. It's really not like I'm trying to scheme against you. It's just like he really got that kind of love for all these fighters. And those fighters have that kind of love for him because a lot of them are seeking him out. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was at the Mayweather gym and, here comes this fighter and here comes that fighter. I remember one time I walked up in the gym and big old, big forehead Tim Bradley was in there. His arm was all casted up, right? He had a cast on his arm. I forget. It might have been after one of the Pacquiao fights. I can't remember why he had a cast on his arm. But he was in the gym. And this was not long after he had done a few interviews kind of not shitting on Floyd, but kind of like firing shots at him, like, he don't want to fight me, whoop-de-woo, whoop-de-woo. And then a couple weeks later, I see Tim Bradley in the gym watching Floyd train, like studying, like on the ring, just watching, eyes wide open in amazement, like, studying, learning and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of love between fighters, bro. Like there really is. And I do not think Floyd means ill will. I do believe him reaching out to Bill and Dev. And again, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he has talked to Devin since, all this stuff. I think Floyd has talked to Devin and everything's cool. So, I do think that he did mean well. I don't think this was some kind of stage, I'm trying to poke fun at you or anything like that. Dang, Stacy. Get in here.
No worries. I think it says iPhone waiting in the room. So granted, it might be a little. It looks like it.
Oh, here he come. He's coming. Connecting to audio.
All right. This might. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's not. It's probably not gonna be perfect. Your setup, but it's cool. Stacy, where you at? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Turn your phone sideways so you look better.
This way?
Yes.
Well, it's just like, hold on, let me go.
Boom. Yeah, get set up, brother. I know this was last minute. I was slipping. I wasn't even thinking. You should have been the first person I hit up.
And it's so crazy. Ooh-wee.
Yes, sir. Get yourself set up.
All right.
I'm just finishing up.
By the way, whoever said, which is cool. I take the moniker of a nerd, but you see what nerds can do. You see how I'm trying to get Stacy all clean up in here, looking all
trying to get him clean.
ESPN all.
Oh yeah, what he doing? He messing with some stuff.
He just messing with the layout. Make sure you look right. Make sure you look right on there.
What is this, like the first take of boxing, right? Like all. There you go, right? That looks good, guys, right? I got the wrong. Let me get this out.
Yeah, you're good. Get it. Get it lined up. We about to get you lined up, Stacy. I see it.
There we go. Right. All right. Cool. See, that's real time editing right there, y'all. Look at that.
Real time.
All right. So.
Hold on. Actually, hold on. Pause for a second. Hold on. Pause. This is Ryan Garcia's dad. 1 second. Henry. I'm good. I'm just finishing up a podcast. I mean, unless you want to jump in and do the interview live, but I don't, I don't feel like doing that because this is a totally different show. But I'm just finishing up my podcast. I just, I want to make sure you get featured like you should get featured. I don't want you jumping in on a Mayweather versus Bill Haney podcast that we're doing right now. Were you on there for that? Were you on there for that? Yeah, that was later. That was later when I was just live with him. I know Lisa was on there, and we were gonna bring y'all on to give you a little shine, give Ryan a little shine, but or not Ryan, but the family. Yeah, no. It's all love. He did. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, I'll tap in with you then. Bye bye. All right, my bad, y'all.
You just gave him a little sneak peek of what was
A
coming.
little sneak peek. Oh yeah, a little sneak peek. Ryan's dad, Henry Garcia. But let's put that to the side. We got to get straight to it. Stacy, are you set? Are you set up over? What you got going on? Is that a laptop? What is that? Oh no, you're just setting up your phone. You're getting your phone set.
Well, me, no, I would have been outside for better lighting, but I know my phone got 20%, so I plugged it up.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. The lighting makes it look like there's some mystique there. So we'll work with that. That's fine. So anyway,
got it all lined up.
Oh yeah, you're all lined up. So anyway, obviously we're here with Stacy Mayweather. Stacy, before we even jump into the craziness of last night, just let the people know officially who you are, just because I know there's some new people in there and they're like, who's this guy, right?
Yeah, I'm Stacy Mayweather. Floyd, my first cousin, grew up like brothers. My father taught his father, and the story goes on. Just family.
That's what's up.
Yes, that's my position, family. Yeah. That's
what's up. Let them know. See, they gotta do their research. You gotta understand the history. All right. So I don't know. You probably didn't get a chance to see our previous discussion about the whole Haney Mayweather saga. But I'm sure you saw the beef, right? Like you saw Bill and did you see the whole thing though? Did you see the beginning of my live, like when me and Floyd were talking about Ryan?
Yes, I woke up to a million and people just flood me with stuff. I'm like, what's going on? So I seen it, and the thing that had me confused is it seemed like one person is talking about boxing, and somebody else is talking about something a little more deeper than boxing. 'Cause I'm like, but I see both sides because I think that it's more for him, for Bill, is more of, it's like he talking about his son, but I mean, from what I heard, it don't seem like he's actually trying to clown Devin. I believe my cousin is genuine. I mean, I knew Devin since he was a kid, know his skill set. So, I mean, maybe he's really offering a hand because I think the same thing happened to Deontay Wilder before. He had lost. Floyd was like, I extend my hand to you. He kind of said the same thing. And I was like, I don't know. It's crazy. I hate to see them like that because I always thought they was cool from when I was out there. So I don't really know where they beef come from myself, to be honest, because I'm not out there in the mix and stuff like that. I don't know where it come from or just a personal thing. It was sparring matches that happened in Vegas. A certain person, I wouldn't definitely put the person out there if Floyd was sparring, and he did him pretty bad, but somebody reported it. One time the person was trying to show somebody, and Floyd got upset for him even showing him beating people up. So I personally find it hard to believe that he would leak videotape. It don't seem like that, and people sometimes think with emotions because at the end of the day, Floyd's been through hundreds of different cameramen and whatnot, and cameramen got their own job and own equipment, so it's very easy for that cameraman, whoever it was that recorded that, to give that to him. That person probably don't even work for Floyd no more, or he do and want some extra money, but I don't know how Floyd is not a cameraman be responsible or videotape being leaked. It just don't seem that difficult based on Devin, Javante, Ryan Garcia, all of them at the top of their game. So it's public information to everybody that this is a sought after videotape. It was like I was there and didn't even know nobody was recording. I almost vowed that nobody got that tape. So I really didn't believe it was one. So I don't know who recorded that and who leaked it, but it's just crazy when you at a certain level that everything is blamed. That's no different than when I seen Ryan say the 3 pounds difference. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not because, you know, Ryan is his promotional schemes is smoke and mirrors. It's pretty different. So it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors, and I don't see Floyd telling him to do that. But I have no idea. I don't see that happening. Me knowing my cousin, a lot of stuff that I hear his name in, I'm like, that's really not him. And Floyd, you don't hear it out of his mouth for the most part. I don't believe it because he usually stand on this stuff about stuff like that. But yeah, that was my point. I just was confused because, you know, when I heard him mentioning my little cousins, Floyd children, I'm like, it seemed like one is talking about boxing, and the other person is talking about his life. So I think that Bill might be getting it misunderstood that he's saying he's a bad father. I don't think he's telling him he's a bad father. I think he's telling him, you know, fighters get to a certain place. Sometimes they got to get some extra help and have somebody in that corner that they're looking for. Because to me personally, it wasn't good to watch. Because like I say, my uncle's trained him. I think that Devin is one of the only fighters that was trained by every Mayweather. So it's definitely like a family connection. Like I'm always rooting for Devin and Bill, but it's like at the end of the day, and I do not want to offend him, and I'm not nothing like that. But at the end of the day, he's not really a natural trainer, so he need help, and there's nothing wrong with getting help. And what I mean by help is when a person in trouble and they at war, they got to be able to look at somebody, and that person got to know what to tell them. So I do feel it's bad when people saying that, oh, it's Bill fought and he could have stopped the fight. Do I believe the fight could have got stopped? Yeah, I believe it probably should have been stopped for the future on, but I won't blame him and sit there and accuse the man of not loving his son. I think that he didn't know what to do in that position. So it appeared that way to everybody else. You know, maybe he know his son and feel that, man, if I stop this fight, me and my son going to have that fallout. But me personally, I think it would have been great for him to have that fallout. Take that blow like Sean Porter father did. I'm gonna just let everybody be mad at me. Live to fight another day, even though he's probably healthy. At the end of the day, the psychological damage and stuff for that is real serious. Because I seen Devin, like I said, I just never seen that like that happen to Devin. It probably haven't happened to him in the gym, amateurs or nothing. That's just a different place. I'm definitely praying for him, man, to be fully healthy and back to 100%.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
I honestly don't think that Floyd was trying to clown him, and I think that's what his anger might be. That, oh man, he's talking about my son, and I don't think that Floyd has nothing bad to say about that. I think that it's kind of a miscommunication of how he feel of it, and it's a lot of people gonna come with it, and he got to realize that when you get to that position, man, this is the world we're in. People gonna clown you, so if you're gonna be mad at somebody, you finna be mad at a lot of people because that's the world we in. Like me personally, I'm a fan of the sport. I'm not a fan of the color of the boxing. If you can fight, you can fight. You know, if you can't, you can't. I think it's gonna be tough though. It is gonna be tough, I believe, for Devin, especially without help. He needs some help, and I don't know why somebody would think that's a wrong thing. And from your interview, that's kind of the main thing I got out of it. Of course, I seen Floyd in this smooth way, you know, kind of address some of the stuff that was said about him. But I didn't see him disrespect him or nothing like that. So I didn't really understand where the anger was from. I never really heard the question get answered.
I'm not even sure why it would be or why he would be upset by making the suggestion that you know, they need someone, because they've always been working with someone else. I mean, I don't know who they're working with right now, but at one point they were working with Ben Davison, right? Ben Davison was helping them at one point. I'm sure there was another time I think they were working with Yoel Judah, I think, right? Like, it's not.
I think Mike McCullum.
Yep.
I mean, they got a lot of Hall of Fame trainers that was with them.
Right.
And all I was saying is, no matter, without all of them, it's just come a time that, even if they say assistant trainer, no, I believe during the fight, during war, that person that they're looking for in front of them, maybe shouldn't be his father. Not saying he's doing a bad job. It may be the emotional connection to it, different stuff like that. So definitely they got something going, but sometimes, and this is, I hope he do not get angry, because I know he in a certain way, because I don't, when it comes to Floyd and Bill going back and forth, that's out of my pay grade. So I'm not
right
there to disrespect neither one of them like that. So,
right.
But just outside looking in, it's the relationship they got. I think is deeper than. Because I will defend him. A lot of people think, oh, this and that about money. I don't think that it's about money. I think him and his father got a relationship that whatever he pay his father, he would pay him if he sat down inside, because he always made sure his son had everything he ever needed. He never wanted for nothing. He, like you say, he had a good plan. It's just now it's time for it to go to the next level, because you got to think Devin had the skill set he got as a fighter before he was in the dark. So he kind of reached his ceiling. Now it's time to take it to the next level at this stage during the what's the name? And like I say, during the heat of battle at that level, because like even with Floyd and the difference that happened with his father, at the end of the day he had Roger there, but at the same time he was fortunate to have people that came up in this boxing and knew some of the stuff. So it's really amazing with Devin's father, the fact that he didn't box and stuff like that and got him that far, because he reached the highest level. So he still got the belts. He still can make something happen. So to me, instead of being angry and frustrated, it's just, you know, figure out going back to the drawing board and what they're going to do next. Get him a soft touch, feel good or something. Do I believe he should fight Brian again? I doubt if Brian will fight him again, because I don't think that, you know, the masterful promotion scheme he did, I don't think that could work twice in life. It was brilliant. So it was brilliant to have me fooled, and some people asked me about the fight before that, and I honestly thought it was a 50-50 fight. If Tank, and if he was probably been the same size, I still thought that was probably a tough fight for Tank too. I always thought that, not because of his skills. He's very fast and he's strong, and he long, so he could be a problem for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Tank say that he was the best technical boxer he fought? So
that's when he's fought. Yeah. So yeah, you got to stop. Listen, we got to put some respect on Ryan Garcia's name. Put some respect on it. Put some respect on Devin Haney's name. Like, listen, all these guys are good. All these guys are good. Like, they're good.
And they're young.
They're young. They're young. So, you know, they put it on the line. So that's a good thing.
To me, I just think it's foul, because if you got Shakur, Devin, you got Tank, somebody got to lose. That's just, the more they fight, somebody got to lose. You know, it is what it is. But like I say, it's just a fight. Like what Bill say when he was in good spirit. You know, they go back to the drawing board and do what they do. It's just sometimes it's okay to not step off, but step to the side and bring somebody else to help build that team and build a little more stronger.
Right.
And they go, because, you know, Devin definitely a good listener. It's just, I really did. I didn't really like to see them kind of go at it like that, stuff like that. It was kind of hard to watch. I'm like, damn, you know, because every time I seen him and Floyd, it just always seemed cool when I seen Devin in the gym and him in the gym. When I met Bill, he was always cool. When I seen him, always respectful and stuff like that. So I never knew that it was this serious, because I'm not in Vegas now, so I don't know the insides of nothing of what's going on. A lot of times, if a videotape come out in this Floyd gym, of course it's Floyd, but I mean, who am I? But I honestly, in my heart, just don't believe that's something Floyd would do. I don't. I mean, I'm saying he didn't do it or did or didn't do it, but that's not something that ever was his style when it comes to boxing. I never knew the tape existed, and I was there at that sparring session. So it's. I think that got something to do with it, and then between the social media, and people getting in your head, maybe that's to it. But it was. I didn't expect that, man. I didn't, because I seen the interview first, and I was like, oh, okay, I see this, and I looked at it as his opinion, which is rare. You usually don't give opinions, but I thought that was his opinion. And
he gives opinions to FightHype. He gives opinions to FightHype.
Yeah. I didn't think. I knew that Bill would say something, but I didn't think that they were going to talk, and it was going to go that way. And I was hoping that, even though he said no, I was hoping that they did have a talk, because it seemed like when they were live, I don't think either one quite seen which each one was talking about. It's like they was talking about two different things. Like one was talking about personal in the streets and stuff, and another person was talking about the boxing and the son stuff with that. So it was like a clash there to me a little bit. So people gonna chop it up. People gonna chop it up and make it seem like Floyd was saying this to him, and it's gonna make it seem like Bill was saying this when they chop it up and they put just on the meme. Because I already seen a couple, and I'm like, no, that ain't what Bill. No, he wasn't talking about that. So it's crazy.
Well, and I think it would help too if people saw the entire, start to finish, like from the moment Floyd started talking about the fight until the moment Bill jumped into my live and then started his own live, and then Floyd went in there. Like, it adds a little more context to how we got to that point. I mean, most people just see the interaction between Floyd and Bill and just think that, they just hopped on and just went at each other. So it is what it is.
I hope they patch it up though, man. Hopefully it's just an emotional thing right now, and this will pass. Like this boxing thing. Like he said on there, the next big fight, they'll find some controversy in that. But at the end of the day, I will say this. In the end that Bill and Ryan are definitely very entertaining for the sport of boxing, man. I love that build up, even though it was crazy and bizarre, but I love the build up. I loved what Bill was doing, the jokes and all that stuff about people. It was hilarious, and hopefully he keeps that same energy, man, and keep doing that stuff because it's good for boxing. Because it seemed like Devin is more of a as I might respect him as a man, but I always remember when he was young. He just reminded me of a good kid, man, a real good, clean cut kid, and he did a great job, man, with being a father. Outside anything else, that's just my honest opinion. He well spoken, he respectful and everything. So I just was thinking that hopefully he don't think that people clowning him as a father, because I heard one person say, "Oh, he a bad father because he wanted to get his son killed," and I mean that sounds crazy. That's because I could understand his frustration. I just felt that that's not what Floyd said. So maybe the anger of everybody else get lashed out on Floyd once he get the public platform. So it just seemed like it wasn't really. It's just it comes with the territory when you lose a fight.
Yeah. Especially when you're just a few days removed from it.
Right, and it was big. It was a big fight. It was. I mean,
it was a big performance.
As the fight, it was the fight of the fight of the year candidate, and we only in the 4th month. That was the fight of the year. Man, that was a good fight.
Yeah,
good build up. It was great for boxing, man. So I think they all should keep their head high, because altogether it was a great job, great show, great turnout. It was great, man.
Yeah, that was good. I'm gonna let Stacy, I'm gonna let Ron get back to the chat real quick. I appreciate you jumping in. Ron, we'll have to kind of fly through them real quick, because I actually did forget that I gotta talk to Henry Garcia. As you saw, he called me.
No, we definitely can shut down soon, because I know we've been on here for
So is y'all gonna go live with Mr. Garcia?
No, I'm just gonna do that offline, and then I'll just post it later.
All right, I'm gonna check him out then. All right, man.
Oh.
Be safe. And like I said, once again, y'all brothers, like in the great words of Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Can't we all just
Peace.
get along? Stacey, I'll tap in with you later, bro.
All right, peace, man.
All right, bet.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm telling you, bro. I don't see that's Floyd's cousin, man. He know him, and he pretty much said the exact same stuff I've been saying. Like, I don't really think that's the Floyd. I mean, that's not the Floyd that we know, right? So, yeah, I think people got that all wrong. But Ron, you can fly through some of these comments. I'll stick around for now just in case there's a question for me or something.
No, I'm gonna wrap up. I was putting some of the chat up. You know, typically I will read them out, but as you can see, if I don't read them, I will put the comments in between, so it does get displayed and it's permanently ingrained and internalized. Because I know that the chat exists on the side, but nothing's better when your chat pops up, or your comments pop up in here. So we'll put a lot more stuff in there. But the few that's coming up, let's see. Kevin, Haney can beat Ryan with right preparation 100. Augustine, didn't like Dev's outfit and shoes. He wasn't on warrior mode. Sleep mode, rather. You know, real quick.
I didn't like them shoes either.
I was at the gym. I went to DLX, and there was actually a conversation about his outfit. A lot of the younger fighters like, yo, that was essential. That was dope, man. I rock essential, all that stuff. And some of the, the older fighters like, man, get this shit out of here, man. This shit was. But you know what they say, outfits don't win you fights, right? So regardless if the outfit's dope or not,
I mean, from a fashion standpoint, I guess it's like, all right, I get it from a fashion standpoint, but we in a fight, bro. This ain't we ain't on the runway.
Yeah. I thought Ryan's diamond out crown was dope. You know, he got the King Rye, he got King on the shorts, and even the ring walk. You know, with you know, and just as a reminder, people still ask, am I still rocking the Ryan Garcia merch because I picked Devin to win the fight? Yes, I am. I was told to put it back on during the Crawford live stream because I woke up and rushed to get over here. But yes, all my interviews so far has been with the Ryan Garcia shirt. So I got what?
Free the children. God did.
I got today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I got like a couple more days before I can take the shirt off.
Is that what it is? You have to wear it for a week?
Man, I told 1.5 million, views that I gotta wear this shit. So, all
right.
But let me power through this. I think also my guy Mike on Sports, he's doing an interview with Jojo Diaz coming up. So he's gonna obviously ask him all about the Ryan Garcia stuff because he was supposed to fight Ryan. He's fought Devin, So.
Man, he might want to ask him about the Mayweather Haney beef. He might want to ask him about that.
No, he definitely is. Definitely gonna do that. So I mean, he knows the headlines. W fighter pilot, but Devin fought in the pocket with Cambosis, Loma in his last fight. Fought Ryan the same way. Yeah. See, the problem is Haney has no power to hurt Ryan Garcia like Tank. Ryan. Was it Ryan or Oscar that actually kind of acknowledged that Devin was throwing some heat? And a little bit,
I think it was Ryan actually. I think Ryan kind of vouched for his power.
Yeah, he was like, no, he caught me. So, no, I can't out here say like fighters ain't got power, man. With Ryan, Dev had to keep moving, fight, back foot counter. He did with the opposition. Augustine, Kevin, all his corner in doubt. He was the star. He was starstruck. Jermaine Allen says, W interview. I'm assuming towards you with Stacy and Floyd and everything that you've been doing. Brian C. had the sparring footage. Bill Haney's too old to successfully acting like he's still a hood booger. SMH.
Yo, not for nothing, but some of that, the sparring videos, some of that stuff that Stacy was saying about, look, it's nothing for, like, Ron, I think you could vouch. You probably know a lot of the videographers that are running around Las Vegas. Like, bro, they literally do bounce from fighter to fighter to fighter. Like,
oh yeah,
they run. There's so many of them. They have all kinds of hard drives. I mean it, and I'll say this, and Ron, you know it because I sent you screenshots like leading up to the Ryan and Devin fight. There were people that were shopping their amateur fights. Like, oh, this was his last amateur fight. Like, they were shopping them. They were actively shopping them to different YouTube channels and different media outlets because they were trying to capitalize on the event. Like, that's legit. So could could that have been this case where someone had it? And yeah, absolutely. I mean, y'all would be surprised at how, the boxing is such a small niche, right? It's such a small circle. It is not hard to get certain things. So,
or bump into certain people. Like, I'll be honest, like 9 times out of 10, if I do an interview or I go somewhere, all right. So I didn't really show my face too much, but now I am. People knew my voice by when I talked, right? So when I started talking, they recognized. By all means, I went to a boxing gym recently because I did that live stream, and it was people who just came in Vegas and was like, "Oh snap! I was watching your stream." My friend's girl was screenshotting like, "Yo!" Like imagine on a casual space that FightHype is able to kind of go around there, but just in the boxing community. So if I'm saying something bad about a fighter, negatively, and it could be an opinion that either you're getting a phone call, I'm getting a phone call, or I don't know this number, who the hell is this? Blah, 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 blah. Or actually, this is actually what happened. Blah, 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 blah. Or actually, blah, 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 blah. So it's so small. And that's really what boxing is really like, almost like a fraternity, right? A whole bunch of fraternities on a campus. And yeah, you may not hang out with that fraternity too much, or you might, but eventually you're gonna come across and bump into each other. So that's why these type of situations where you can see Mayweather and Haney, they've known each other for practically maybe a decade or so, right?
Right.
So these things are very personal. There is a lot of dirt and certain stuff. Things aren't probably said, and there is built up emotions. And they usually come out unfortunately, when a loss happens. So, yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to read the chat, and I'm going to give my final thoughts. I'm going to let you do your final thoughts. We're going to get out because we got a whole bunch of stuff that we got to do. MS, after Devin robbed Loma, many boxing fans were hoping that he would pay for it at some point and get exposed. Damn, that came quick. Ryan didn't. Kevin says Loma didn't win. Ryan won. Shout out Mike for the super chat. Dono. Yes, shout out to Mike. If Devin Haney's smart, learn that Floyd Mayweather Jr. defense with Floyd, look at Canelo style. The outfit was fine. It was better than the denim thing he did before. The custom Fear of God shoes were unique. Anybody know what Garcia and Haney dehydrate you? Unfortunately, no. Shout out to Ryan. He won me some money. Chile. Jamone Ali. Allen. Let's see. Brian's and yeah, so pretty much. So
Brian, yeah, I think that reporter does have that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure more than people. So real quick, just final thoughts. I don't have any issues with Floyd or Bill or Devin, right? At the end of the day, from what I see, I think there is maybe some miscommunication that's done publicly. I do feel like there is probably a little razzing, kind of, not intentionally negative, but a little bit, like when you play any type of like games or sports, you're just like, hey, I beat your ass, right? Or I told you, or hey, there's just a little bit of that going on. But I do understand that as on Bill's side, as a father, there's a lot of stuff that's coming down. Some people might feel it's karma. Some people feel like that's what you get. But either or, I know that there's a lot of stuff that's going towards Bill and Devin. No different than when Ryan lost to Gervonta, right? So it's just part of boxing. And so I do empathize with that. And I do know that they will bounce back. They do work hard. And hopefully maybe Floyd and Bill and all of them can come together at some point and reconcile whatever it is and kind of come together and support each other at some point. Because losses happen in boxing. It's almost a fantasy to be undefeated, right? Tio lost, Devin lost, Lomachenko lost, Ryan lost. I mean, who knows about Shakur? Shakur just hasn't had the opportunity to fight any of these guys, And all this does is just make Tank look better, and Tank will continue to fight other guys, and he might take a loss, if he continues to fight all the top guys. But right now, Tank looks like he's been fighting the top guys, and he's been kind of winning, so... But all that said and done, I appreciate everyone coming to chat. We'll do some more, and whatever comments I didn't read, it's just because it just came a little late. Ben, final words?
I don't really have anything else to say. I think everybody will be cool in the very near future. This is boxing. It's a very small family. And like I told Bill prior to the fight, again, what he has achieved is great. Very few people can do that in boxing. Obviously, what Devin has achieved is great. Very few people can do that in boxing. And yeah, like you said, they'll be back. They're not going anywhere. They're one of the biggest names in the sport. And I know Floyd he always means well, and he always has a way of patching things up with people. I do think that's what he was trying to do last night. So hopefully Bill didn't take anything the wrong way. And yeah, man, it's just on to the next one. Just like I tell you every day we finish working a hard day, on to the next one, bro. So yeah, hopefully I hear from Bill. I know I'll hear from Floyd. And right now in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna be hearing from Henry Garcia to do an interview with him. So keep an eye out for that.
You guys can lock in there, and shout out to all the dads, right? I'm a newfound dad, so obviously your father. So Bill's just, at the end of the day, it's just boxing. At the end of all of it, you made your son a super multi-millionaire who's rich, who can never have to work he doesn't ever have to work ever again. He has his other kids, Sean and his daughters and his other son. So at the end of the day, he's a winner. Even though Devin's a winner, they're all winners, right? All we just saw was just a professional boxing match, and one person had a win. But once they walked out, they were the 1%er winners on planet Earth, and you have to congratulate Bill, Devin, and everyone. So
shout out to Bill, parent to partner. Shout out to Floyd.
Free the children, man.
And free the children. God did.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. And peace.
Peace.